shaken and scared. A terrifying dog attack leaves an Amherstburg family shaken. Paddlers at risk.
The water might not be cold enough for hypothermia, but it can definitely cause a bit of a shock.
Police say 40% of fatalities on the water are kayaks, canoes, and stand-up paddleboards. And federal funding fuels growth and innovation.
We rely on this region to build things that the world depends on.
A multi-million-dollar boost for 14 Windsor, Essex companies.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on CTV Windsor and AM 800. An Amherstburg woman and her daughter are shaken up after a frightening situation this week. An 11-year-old girl and her dog were attacked by 2 rottweilers that escaped from a neighbor's backyard. The girl's mother says she, her daughter, and their family dog were all injured. CTV's Sanjay Meyer joining me now to explain and detail what exactly happened in this case. Sanjay.
And Stephanie, what happened here was all captured on home surveillance video. That video was then posted to social media, and that video has drawn attention from neighbors, town officials, the Humane Society, and police. We should warn that the images in this story may be upsetting to some viewers.
A quiet morning walk in Amherstburg took a sudden turn Tuesday morning. A confrontation with a Rottweiler which had escaped from a neighbor's fenced-in yard. Other neighbors and the girl's mom try to help. Minutes later, the Rottweiler returns with a second dog.
I'm trying to kick them and hit them just to get them off. Nothing fazed these dogs, and I used all my power. Like, you see your daughter hurt, you use any power you can, and it wasn't working.
Timestamps on surveillance video show it takes about 80 seconds before the owner of the Rottweilers reaches the scene. Nina DiMaria says she posted the video to social media so other families in the area are aware.
Seeing these dogs coming and attacking people, my thing is for the kids, the awareness for the kids, and also the parents. Like, everybody walks their dogs in this neighborhood.
DiMaria says she, her daughter, and their dog escaped with minor injuries. Amherstburg Mayor Michael Prue says there are penalties for pet owners whose dogs run loose.
A dog running at large can be fined up to $300. A dog that bites an individual or bites another animal, there's other larger fines for that. The bylaw enforcement officer can also, in his or her wisdom, request that the dogs be muzzled at all times when they're outside.
Prue says bylaw enforcement is currently reviewing what happened. Meanwhile, Humane Society Executive Director Lynette Bain says anyone bitten by a dog should seek medical care first, then report it to the health unit so the animal's rabies vaccination status can be checked. But she says prevention starts before a bite ever happens.
You are responsible for your pet. You're responsible to ensure that you have an appropriate enclosure, that they're either tethered or contained in some kind of way on your property. Free roaming dogs are not something that is acceptable in our community.
As for DiMaria, whose dog normally goes out for morning walks with either her or her daughter, she says the incident has her reconsidering that routine, at least for now.
I usually take my dog out around now. He's waiting for me, and I'm not taking him. I'm not. Like, I feel bad. I love him. I'm too scared.
And late this afternoon, CTV News received images showing the neighbor whose Rottweilers escaped has installed a more secure fence around the backyard to ensure they do not escape again. We did reach out to Windsor Police, who attended the scene. They say the matter is being reviewed by Amherstburg's bylaw department as well as the local health unit. Stephanie.
So unfortunate for everyone involved there. The video, yeah, very shocking.
Shocking video. However, there is something that Amherstburg Mayor Michael Prue added. He mentioned, yes, this happened in Amherstburg. Yes, there are neighbors around the home there who are concerned, but this is an incident that can happen anywhere, so always be vigilant, always be on the lookout.
Okay, Sanjay with our top story tonight. Thank you for this, Sanjay. In other news, A 15-year-old boy has been charged in a sextortion investigation involving a 13-year-old girl. Police say the teen used intimate images from the girl to threaten and extort her via social media. The suspect faces charges including extortion, possession and distribution of child sexual abuse material, and publishing intimate images without consent. An active police investigation continues in East Windsor this hour. Caution tape can be seen surrounding this home in the 1100 block of Cora Greenwood. Police are asking residents to avoid the area until further notice. 2 suspects are wanted by police after a violent assault in Windsor's West End. Just before 7:30 p.m. on Saturday, police were called to an assault in an apartment building in the 3100 block of Sandwich Street. Police say an argument between a man, a woman, and 2 others escalated into a physical fight. The woman is accused of punching another female during this altercation. When a man tried to intervene, he was allegedly punched and choked by the accused man. Both victims suffering non-life-threatening injuries. The first suspect is described as a white man between 40 and 50 years old, around 5'10", with a medium build and gray facial hair. He was last seen wearing a black toque, a black t-shirt, and blue jeans. The second suspect is a white woman around 5'9", with a medium build and brown hair tied in a ponytail. She was seen wearing a gray t-shirt, gray jogging pants, and white running shoes. Anyone with information is asked to contact Windsor Police or Crime Stoppers. A 26-year-old Windsorite who only just got out of prison in the fall is back before the courts. Zo has been charged with kidnapping and stealing, along with drug and gun possession offenses. Public court documents indicate they stem from a kidnapping and robbery case we told you about earlier this year. Police say on April 16th, a victim suffered serious but survivable injuries after he was beaten and held against his will at a home on Lozon Road south of Tecumseh. At a hearing today on the new charges, Zo was granted bail, but the media is not allowed to report on the evidence or details shared within the court. Last fall, Zo pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit an assault, even though he was facing a charge of first-degree murder in the death of the 18-year-old Darian Moffat. Zo was sentenced to time already served, given that he had been in prison for 4 of the previous 8 years on the Moffat charges. A reminder from police just ahead of the long weekend. Cold water and changing conditions can quickly turn dangerous. OPP report more than 100 people in kayaks, canoes, and paddle boards were among the 249 marine deaths investigated over the past decade. CTV's Chris Campbell joins me now with more details on this report tonight. Chris.
Yes, Stephanie. Paddling season is beginning to ramp up across southwestern Ontario, but safety experts say many people underestimate the risks this time of year, especially when it comes to cold water.
At River Canard Outpost, Ron Lapointe says prepared paddlers usually stand out right away.
They're interested in, basically doing everything correctly. They've got all the correct gear, the correct equipment.
Lapointe says River Canard offers calmer conditions for beginners and families compared to Lake Erie or the Detroit River.
Well, River Canard is a gentle river, and it's basically shallow. Even on windy days, the waves are really tiny.
But even sheltered waterways can become dangerous in cold water conditions. According to the Ontario Provincial Police, there have been nearly 250 marine fatalities over the last 10 years in Ontario. More than 100 involved kayaks, canoes, and paddle boards, and 83% of those were not wearing a life jacket. The reminders come just days after a 53-year-old man and his 7-year-old son died in the waters near Long Point. OPP say both were wearing life jackets at the time.
It really comes down to the fact that if you are going to venture out in the water, make sure that you do have warm clothing. Make sure you have a plan in place. More importantly, though, make sure you let somebody know when you're coming back.
At Peely Wings Outfitters near Point Peely National Park, Eric Briggs says Lake Erie conditions can change quickly, even when the weather feels warm on land.
The water might not be cold enough for hypothermia, but it can definitely cause a bit of a shock gas reflex, and that's what will get people in trouble.
Because of those conditions, the business is only renting equipment for the protected marsh area, not Lake Erie itself. Briggs says understanding your surroundings is key before heading out.
It's always about risk mitigation. Understand the risk and understand how much risk you're willing to take to enjoy the time on the water.
The OPP reminds boaters and paddlers that a safe and enjoyable boating season starts with always being well prepared, urging people to wear your life jacket, check weather conditions, avoid alcohol and drugs on the water, and be prepared for cold water.
And with warmer weather expected this long weekend, outfitters say preparation and respecting the water can make all the difference. Also, Stefanie, Safe Boating Awareness Week starts on Saturday and runs through May 22nd.
Okay, good to know. Chris Campbell. So here is our question of the day. Do you spend time on the water in Windsor, Essex? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday, we asked if you have been impacted by hospital wait times. Out of almost 700 votes, 74% say yes. Speaking of weather conditions, CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joins me now for a first look at the weather from the top of the Bell Building to talk about a beautiful long weekend. Gary.
Beautiful long weekend, if you like it warm and very summer-like, and I think most people will welcome these temperatures that should be well above 20 degrees Celsius. 20, by the way, as of today, is our daytime high average for this time of the year, and a mixture of sun and cloud. It's been gorgeous, especially in the afternoon. Even more clarity overnight. It's been windy, though, so not great for the golf game. But I was mentioning kite flyers must be loving today. And it looks like we're going to see temperatures surge as we head towards tomorrow, even more so for Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. I'll break down the story of maybe 30 degrees Celsius highs coming up shortly. For now, I'll send it back inside to you at the desk. Stefanie?
The federal government is investing $20 million in Windsor, Essex businesses, helping 14 local companies. As CTV's Bob Belichico reports, Minister Evan Solomon met with community leaders, including Windsor's mayor, to discuss the region's future.
Let's continue those conversations and let's fight together.
Evan Solomon announcing a government investment, $20 million in 14 businesses across Windsor, Essex County.
We rely on this region to build things that the world depends on: auto parts, advanced manufacturing technology, precision tools, industrial products, supply chains, cladding for buildings like we're doing here with these fine folks at Innova.
Today's announcement was held at Innova Facades. They are the recipients of $4.5 million, which is the second highest total in the $20 million investment. Top of the list is Service Mold and Aerospace. They will receive just over $6 million. A major part of Innova's cut will go towards expanding their current facility, adding 3 product lines: windows, doors, and louvers.
Instead of buying from other countries or from the U.S., now we will be able to build this product here in-house in Windsor and use it for our own products, like the large format wall systems that we use.
The second phase of the investment will see the company selling to the Canadian market. The trade war is impacting many local companies. Louis Yan, president of Yan Engineering, pivoting his business from 90% automotive and heavy truck supplies to nuclear.
We've been very successful in the nuclear industry.
The Oldcastle-based company is using their $1 million to buy equipment and expand the building to better service the nuclear industry.
Between aerospace, nuclear, and defense, we think we want to make up at least 50% of our business going forward, and of course still maintain our heavy truck and automotive presence.
Minister Solomon also met today with the Mayor of Windsor, Drew Dilkins, and President of the Chamber of Commerce, Ryan Donnelly.
Take the pie, grow the pie, maintain the strong relationship we've had with the United States for generations, but also find other markets for us to sell into and buy from. So that was my main message today.
Bob Belichico, CTV News.
Newly released documents show Ontario taxpayers will pay nearly $200,000 after Premier Doug Ford changed his mind about buying a private jet. The documents show the province bought and later sold the jet for $21 million U.S. However, the government also racked up around $190,000 in additional aviation-related costs before taxes. Premier Ford had argued the plane was necessary for his travel requirements, but the purchase quickly sparked broad backlash. The Lambton County District School Board's plan to cut custodial positions is raising concerns from the union. Local 1238 of the Canadian Union of Public Employees says 22 custodial jobs will be affected, though the board says it will create 12 new positions at higher pay for current staff to apply for. Union President Carrie Hopper calls the move devastating, saying it leaves workers who have dedicated years to their schools facing uncertainty and anxiety. The school board says it's trying to manage the changes through attrition and with new positions offsetting some of the losses. Education Director Gary Giardi says the net reduction will be about 10 jobs, not 22, ensuring essential work at schools continue. A crackdown now on so-called renovictions may be coming to Chatham-Kent as the municipality looks at new rules that could force landlords to prove renovations are legit before tenants are pushed out. CTV's Robert Lothian has the latest tonight.
Chatham-Kent is proposing new rules requiring further proof that renovations require a tenant to move out. It's one of the several changes the municipality believes can help cut down on so-called renovictions. About 30 people gathering tonight to weigh in on the rental renovation license bylaw. Many of them were tenants who say their own experiences are direct examples of why this is needed.
So there's something wrong somewhere, and I just hope this guy will be stopped, because he's gone on and he's got away with it too long.
This bylaw would have prevented virtually every single problem we've encountered with this landlord.
The bylaw includes added communication between tenants and landlords and proof of permits to carry out the renovations. Plans to create a renoviction bylaw date back to January. That's when about 40 residents from a Chatham apartment building were blindsided by renovation notices, claiming they would have to move out for 8 months. Paralegal Jeff Wilkins believes the licensing will help.
The majority of the time, they do not even apply for the permits. With this bylaw, they will have to apply for the permits. And if I see a permit and they've gone that far to get the permit, that means it's probably legitimate.
Not everyone in attendance agrees that this licensing is necessary. Some landlords speaking here tonight say this will further drive away people who want to invest in Chatham-Kent, going on to say that some of these rules already exist at the provincial level.
So for the municipalities say, oh, we're going to step in because there's a gap. There's no gap. The gap, it's already there. So the LTB will decide whether or not the owner can go through with their renovation or not.
Whether or not the licensing is overstepping is the decision that will be made by council. A public survey remains open on the municipality's website. Feedback will be included in a report headed to council in June. In Chatham-Kent, Robert Lothian, CTV News.
A new sign today, we may be inching closer to the opening of the Gordie Howe International Bridge. A new lane has opened on the Herb Gray Parkway, the highway which connects the 401 to the new bridge. Since the parkway opened in 2015, the far outside fast lane has been blocked off with traffic barriers. The Ministry of Transportation confirms the barriers were removed this past weekend. Officials say crews are refreshing pavement markings and all new sign installations are complete on the parkway. Traffic shifts from 3 lanes to 1 just before Ojibwe Parkway. CTV News asked federal MP Evan Solomon today about when the Gordie Howe Bridge might open. This is what he had to say.
Obviously, there's complicated negotiations going on, but we hope that not only the bridge opens, it's an element, but the larger relationship is, that's one aspect of a larger relationship that we've got to fix.
Powering the future. Still ahead on Windsor's news leader, the ambitious plan to double the electrical grid. And drowning in debt. More Canadians are struggling to pay bills and filing for insolvency than any time since the 2008 crash. Reaction today after Honda officials confirmed reports they are suspending plans for a $15 billion electric vehicle project in Ontario indefinitely. Honda says this is part of a larger overhaul of the company's business model. According to Honda's CEO, the automaker will focus on rebuilding its business structure over 3 years, shifting focus to hybrid models instead. Right now, the Nexstar battery plant in Windsor is not making batteries for vehicles, but for data centers and other energy storage companies. However, officials are hoping to transition into the electric vehicle market once it ramps up.
Now with Stellantis not owning a stake in the battery plant, those batteries are not proprietary property of Stellantis and destined for only Stellantis vehicles. It should open the door for those battery cells to be sold to other customers, whether that's a data center or an automaker. There is a chance that other automakers could buy those batteries and use them in their vehicles.
Now, this comes as the sales of EVs has shot way up, an increase of almost 75% from a year ago. CTV's Adrian Gobriel looks at why there's a move back to electric cars.
An acceleration in electric vehicle sales is driving a surging trend across the country. This new Statistics Canada report has revealed that in March, there were more than 21,000 new zero-emission vehicle sales in Canada, a spike of more than 74% year over year.
They are in high demand. So is there a future for electrified vehicles? I mean, there's a present and a future for electrified vehicles.
All Canadian. In February, the federal government announced a new 5-year EV incentives program, offering rebates of up to $5,000. Automotive insiders believe it's in part a driving factor.
The surge of gas prices and the return of the federal EV incentives is helping to drive those sales.
Another variable being cited, Canadian consumers becoming more familiar and open to the idea of going green.
We have consumers who have experience, their neighbors have experience with EVs, and they're trusting them.
New EV sales made up more than 12% of all vehicles sold in March, up from just over 6% during the same month last year. While Honda has indefinitely suspended its $15 billion electric vehicle complex in Ontario. In St. Thomas, Ontario, construction of a massive EV gigafactory battery plant is well underway, with production set for next year. Ottawa has also opened the door for 49,000 Chinese-built electric vehicles to enter the Canadian market. Demand from budget-conscious consumers is expected to be strong.
We're also hearing about exciting hybrids in the pipeline, and the variety of consumer choice is going to be building from all over the world.
One roadblock impeding EV growth, according to those watching the trends, is consumer anxiety over accessibility to functioning charging stations in communities across the country. Adrian Gobriel, CTV News, Toronto.
A long-awaited clean energy strategy announced today by the Prime Minister to double Canada's electrical grid by 2050, creating jobs and bringing consumer costs down. CTV's Abigail Beeman breaks down the plan and whether it can be accomplished.
The Prime Minister amped up to deliver a long-awaited electricity strategy with a plan to double Canada's capacity.
As our industries expand, our economy grows, AI accelerates, electricity demand in Canada is expected to double by 2050. So we will double our grid.
The government estimates the expansion could add 130,000 high-paying jobs by 2050.
This announcement in electricity, as far as I'm concerned, is the greatest announcement since, well, electricity itself.
Canada's current electrical system is complex and siloed. The Prime Minister concedes it's often easier to trade power with the United States than interprovincially, costing Canada billions.
Tying our grids together, and that will be that will be essential, and that's where the federal government has to come in and help the provinces make good choices that work strategically for the nation.
To help build and power an expanded grid, Mark Carney is proposing more flexibility to scale up natural gas, especially important in Western Canada, by loosening Trudeau-era clean electricity regulations.
It is a betrayal of the years of time that was spent with stakeholders and utilities and Indigenous nations on developing the federal clean electricity regulations.
He re-announced the same electricity plan that the Liberals have used over the last decade to jack up the cost of power bills by 35%.
While the government promises this expansion will eventually lower bills, it also puts the price tag at more than $1 trillion overall and couldn't provide any details about a breakdown or who would pay for what. Abigail Beeman, CTV News, Ottawa.
Some revealing information from Statistics Canada. It turns out nearly half of Canadians are having a hard time separating fact from fiction online. Here's CTV's Heather Wright.
I am not Morgan Freeman, and what you see is not real.
The line between what's real and what's fake is getting blurrier. According to a new survey, 80% of Canadians saw news or information online they suspected to be misleading or false at least once a month. And nearly half of Canadians say they are finding it harder to distinguish between fact and fiction.
What I think is more worrying is not the misinformation people see online that they recognize as misinformation. It's the misinformation they see online and actually believe.
Angus Lockhart is a policy analyst at the DAIS, a think tank at Toronto Metropolitan University. He says while the spread of mis and disinformation has been increasing for years, AI is making it easier to create fake or misleading content, specifically deepfake videos.
We're seeing very quick rises in the number of deepfakes that are posted and shared online. And that's one of the scariest ones because that technology is only getting better and only making it harder to judge what's real and what's fake online.
The misinformation survey also found more than 60% of Canadians are very or extremely concerned about online misinformation. But experts say not enough is being done by the government or by big tech.
Unfortunately, there is a lack of scrutiny on these big tech companies.
Ahmed Al-Rawi is a communications professor at Simon Fraser University and says social media companies have shown an inability to police the content that's on their platforms. And more onus needs to be put on the government to enact stricter rules.
The only language they understand is the language of financial penalties. So once you send warnings regarding these penalties, I think they will start listening.
Experts say it is vital to fact-check information found online, especially on social media, though they acknowledge it is something that's getting harder to do. Heather Wright, CTV News, Toronto.
Ontario's new retail rules are now in effect, allowing stores the option of staying open on Victoria Day. The changes to the province's Retail Business and Holiday Act mean stores and malls can open on the holiday Monday in May as well as Family Day. However, all government offices will be closed along with banks, libraries and community centres. The technology, telecommunications and financial sectors helped Canada's main stock index today. In Toronto, the TSX gained 227 points. In New York, the Dow added 370, while the Nasdaq is up 233. The Canadian dollar dropped about 1/10 of a cent today. On commodity markets, gold is down more than $21 an ounce and oil is up 15 cents a barrel. A breakthrough from Canadian researchers could change the future of autism treatment. Coming up, the newly uncovered genetic pathway.
Let's take a look at our CTV News weather snapshot. It's a beauty. Thank you, Mauro, for sending it in. Just ahead, we'll talk very warm temperatures for this time of the year. That could be perfect timing for your long weekend plans. That's next on CTV News Windsor.
Discussion here at Windsor City Hall.
Windsor's top stories.
A major project is about to get underway.
Breaking news alerts.
Severe weather is a possibility.
And watch live.
Good evening and thank you for joining us.
Download the CTV News app.
Lovely out there, and there's a lot of excitement for this long weekend ahead. Gary joins me for an extended look. Gary.
Well, it looks like temperatures are certainly going to climb. We could see 30 degrees in succession both Monday and Tuesday of next week. And obviously Monday's important because it's a national holiday. We are still in the clear tonight for the most part. It's been a breezy day, a bit cool-ish, but still a spring day that sees a mixture of sun and cloud, mostly sunny through the latter stage of the afternoon, reaching a high that's only 2 degrees below our norm, so 18.2. Our average is 20.2. Air quality's been excellent today, so really not much to see here. The only caveat to today's story, especially for golfers, although kite flyers probably loved, is the winds. It was windy out there. Great for kite flying, not so great if you're on the greens, on the links, rather, in general. We'll still see gusty winds, perhaps in the 30 to 40K range, with sustained winds in the 25 range, at least through to about 9 p.m. tonight. Temperatures between 15 and 18 degrees Celsius, so mid-50s and up. The warm spot is still in the prairies, 25 degrees in Winnipeg right now. They could get up to about 27, maybe even 28 today. We're in this envelope of clarity and stable air. And what clouds we are seeing with the northerly wind, right? We always talk about wind profiles from where they emanate. So a northerly wind works its way from north to south, and that's going to clear things out through the overnight. Beautiful stargazers evening is setting up. It's just coolish, and was this morning. Next wave of cloud moves in for Friday afternoon. Friday afternoon could be a windy one as well, but I don't anticipate any showers at least until Saturday morning. So things are looking good tonight. Beautiful conditions, sunny through dusk, clear through to midnight. At midnight, the winds have calmed down. We're holding at about 8 degrees Celsius, which would be seasonal for this time of the year. Our 7-day outlook, courtesy of Intercuracao, shapes up this way. Sunny tomorrow, high of 21. That's slightly above seasonal, and then 26. Possible showers on a cloudy Saturday, 27, sunny. On Sunday, Monday, 31 and sunny. Tuesday, 31 and cloudy with showers likely. Wednesday, Thursday, cloudy, and Wednesday's likely showery before things get back to norms a week from now on Thursday with 18.
Dozens of local charities supporting kids and youth across Windsor, Essex are getting a financial boost.
We collect goods and then we sell them, and then the profits, portions of the profits go right back to the community.
The May Cord Club of Windsor is handing out $140,000 to 37 different organizations, including food banks, youth programs, sports groups, shelters, and health organizations. The money comes from sales at the club's volunteer-run thrift shop and fundraisers held throughout the year, with all of the proceeds staying right here in Windsor, Essex. The group says this year's total is up $40,000 from last year.
These are things that go above and beyond what we're funded for, and this will sustain us for a year. So it's incredibly impactful for the work that we're able to do in children and youth healing.
Canadian researchers say they've uncovered a genetic pathway that could lead to targeted therapies for children on the autism spectrum. With more on their discoveries, here's CTV's Pauline Chan.
Scientists have known for decades that there was a genetic link to autism spectrum disorder.
Our previous studies looked at the protein coding genes of the genome, and now our novel discovery here actually found a long non-coding RNA. So this is an RNA molecule that has function within the cell.
It's found on the X chromosome, and it's associated with autism in males who carried small deletions in the gene.
So if you think of a light switch, for example, in a room that has 100 different pot lights in it, we think about perhaps this new molecule we've identified is more of a dimmer switch.
And it's connected with what are the core behavioral traits associated with autism: difficulties with socializing, communicating, and repetitive behaviors.
Professor Shearer says the key to their discovery has been their ability to do whole genome sequencing for thousands of people.
5,000 from Canada, plus thousands more from Europe, South Korea, and Qatar. Susan Cosgrove has 3 children, all on the spectrum. She says she's always believed in a genetic link, but this finding could be key in earlier and more reliable diagnosis.
It's still somebody's interpretation of your child's behavior, your child's features. If this was able to be diagnosed through a blood test, right, we wouldn't have to do that wait.
Now that we have cellular pathways identified, we could think about precision therapeutics for perhaps all people who have a diagnosis of autism. And that's why this is really a novel finding.
Newer technology is helping this type of research examine regions of the genome it could never study before. The researchers have been able to transfer these genetic alterations to mouse models to work towards someday developing targeted therapies for specific autism-related genes. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Coming up on What's Up YQG, we're at the Cherry Rock Lounge, and we're going to talk about some summer Sundays, Johnny.
Going out to you, Mel. Oh, we're halfway there. Take it, Mel.
Stay tuned.
More Canadians filed for insolvency in the past 3 months of the year than in any other quarter since the global financial crisis. And there's a growing concern more households are carrying too much debt and having difficulty paying their bills. CTV's Pat Foran reports.
According to the Office of the Superintendent of Bankruptcy, more than 37,000 Canadians either filed a consumer proposal or declared bankruptcy during the first 3 months of this year. That's an increase of 8.5% over the same period in 2025.
I'm not surprised by these numbers. We know that about half of Canadian households are living paycheck to paycheck, which means, they have no savings.
The Canadian Association of Insolvency and Restructuring Professionals says Canadians are carrying record amounts of debt. Many mortgages will come due this year at higher interest rates. Rising food and gas prices, along with other factors, are pushing some households to the brink. In about 80% of cases, clients choose a consumer proposal instead of bankruptcy, which allows them to have a fixed monthly payment and stops interest from accumulating.
Most of the time, they will pay less than what they owe. It's based on their budget and capacity to pay. And you keep your assets in a proposal. In a bankruptcy, you may lose assets.
Almost 14,000 people in Ontario filed consumer proposals and bankruptcy so far this year. That's almost a 15% increase over the year before.
The rate of increase in insolvencies is a lot worse in Ontario than it is in the rest of Canada because we are the engine of the economy.
Licensed insolvency trustee Doug Hoy says tariffs have been detrimental to Ontario and says increasing unemployment remains a concern.
I suspect that we will see a continued, perhaps gradual, but certainly increase in the number of personal insolvencies filed in Ontario for many months to come.
Hoyes recommends keeping debt levels low and to curb your expenses. Anyone facing financial hardships can seek the advice of a licensed insolvency trustee. There is usually no charge for the first meeting. Pat Foran, CTV News.
Turning now to our weekly segment, What's Up YQG, with Johnny Parks from our sister station 89X and our own Melanie Kentner. Now, today you are featuring a great way to extend your summer weekends.
Yeah, the Cherry Rock Lounge can help keep your long weekend going. Johnny, I know you're no stranger to this place.
Love the Cherry Rock. So stoked to be teaming up with 89X and them for Summer Sundays. So we're with Jade from Cherry Rock. Could you tell us more about this?
Hey there. So we're actually doing a triple header, which is something we've never done before at Cherry. We have 3 bands and lots of drink deals to get you through the night.
So tell us a little bit more about the bands that are going to be here.
So with the 3 bands, we have Walker Crown, somebody who's been here quite a few times. We have Town Hall Revival. and we have Rolling the Rock. So it's going to be a pretty good vibe.
Some great folk rock and alternative type vibes going on. And this isn't the only one we're doing for this. It's going all summer long, yeah?
Oh yeah, so we're going to be bringing it to you every long weekend.
Awesome. And what is the best time to come by?
So it's going to be 7 to 10. Band starts around 8, and you can come in anytime after 7.
Well, I'm hoping to get in for free since I do work with 89X, but what is the cost to get in the door?
So it's $10, but like I said, we do have a lot of drink deals to get you through the night. So $7.75 double wells all night long with $5 shots of 1800 tequila.
Wow, that sounds like a great deal. Okay, well, we do have a few other events going on this weekend, including something at the casino, Johnny.
Yeah, comedian Mo Ammer is coming to town on Friday.
Nobody knows how to dip on a flat plate, bro. You got like racetrack marks everywhere.
And let's see, Riverfront Theater Company is going to be at the Capitol as well.
Prince of Egypt. I remember watching the movie as a kid, but yeah, the live version of it.
You could be the Prince of Egypt.
I don't know about that. Oh.
And there's something at Green Acres Park, kind of a family event as well.
Yeah, Victoria Day fireworks. I keep forgetting it's the long weekend, but yeah, take care of your dogs because there will be some fireworks going on.
So many things going on. Thanks a lot, Jade, for joining us. And that's What's Up, YQG.
We want you to see the Black Keys as they ignite the Coliseum stage on their Peaches and Cream Tour October 18th. Enter online at ctvwindsor.ca for your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see the Black Keys at Caesars Windsor, plus a $200 gift card.
This is your CTV Windsor Our Community Calendar. Support the Windsor-Essex County Humane Society and you could win big with the Kitty Cash 50/50 Lottery. Get your tickets at windsorhumane5050.ca. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Kate Otterbein. Now, Kate, the lineup for the first ever FIFA World Cup 2026 halftime show has now been unveiled.
Yes, very exciting. Now, the World Cup is taking a page out of the Super Bowl's playbook with this. It will bring music and soccer together on the world's biggest stage, all in support of a special cause. Shakira, Madonna, and BTS will co-headline the World Cup final halftime show. The match is expected to draw millions of viewers worldwide. The show, put together by Coldplay's Chris Martin, will support FIFA's Global Citizen Education Fund. It aims to raise $100 million to expand access to education and soccer programs for children around the world. The World Cup final is set for July 19th at New Jersey's MetLife Stadium. Find all your local news updates online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
That's going to be a great show. And an upcoming country concert at Caesars Windsor, unfortunately, has been rescheduled.
Yes, but it is still happening, so that's the bright side here. The Josh Ross show that was set for September has been pushed back to November 14th. The change is because of a shift in his touring schedule. Now, if you bought tickets, they will be honored on the new date. But if you're unable to attend in November, you can get a refund wherever you bought your tickets until June 14th. And in our social spotlight tonight, if your dog ever takes a sip of your coffee, watch out. Versace the collie stole a sip of her owner's coffee, and she sure felt the effects of it. She apparently raced around the neighborhood for hours before she passed out and took a nap. Now, I don't know how much you know about collies, but they are very high-energy dogs, and in my opinion, that's the last breed you want to get hyped on caffeine.
Oh, my God. I did not know that. That is extremely fast. I don't know. It just reminds me of my kids when I give them chocolate or any type of sugar. They go nonstop until they hit the ground and pass out.
And then that nap is probably the best nap of their life.
It is. It is. Okay. Thank you, Kate. And that's what's happening now. What happens when the weather guy and the sports guy hit the pickleball court? Smashes last and a little humility that's still ahead. I'm already seeing some people posting on social media opening up their pools.
Hey, this weekend, we'll see if it all comes together in terms of sunshine. definitely temperatures are warming. That's the profile and the setup. One more look at our Enercare Styles 7-day forecast. 21 tomorrow, mostly sunny, high UV, protect your eyes, your skin, of course. Saturday, 26. Our average high at that time should be closer to about 20 and a half. Showers on a cloudy day, slight chance. Sunny on Monday, Sunday and Monday, 27 and 31 respectively. Tuesday, 31, 25 on Wednesday, and then back to 18, which would be slightly below seasonal by about 3 degrees a week from now. We have 4 days in the 20s, and maybe beyond that. Looks like Monday and Tuesday, 31 and 31. Could see some records in parts of southern Ontario.
And it's going to be perfect to play pickleball outside on the courts. And I bring that up because, Gary, yesterday you and Bob Belichico traded in your mics for pickleball rackets. How exactly did that go?
It's always good at the Pickleplex. Thanks to Gina and Evan. For a great time. We played Evan, who's a pro. Gina is one of the co-founders, co-owners. It was a good time.
Okay, so we have some video of it. Let's take a quick watch. Gary and Bob hitting the court at Pickleplex Windsor on Lozon Road, taking on co-owner, as you mentioned, Gina, and head of pro, Evan Holinsky. It looks like Bob and Gary got a quick lesson in just how fast and competitive pickleball can get, with plenty of strategy mixed in it too.
Pickleball is really interesting because it's a game of it's like a game of chess. You never really know what your opponent is thinking on the other side, and so you watch a lot of video review of their game to get an idea of like how we're going to approach this game and what matchups we're going to put against their team, you know, so it's really interesting how that works.
So what's the one piece of advice that you took from there in the strategy category?
Yeah, it's very much like a chess game. Placement of the ball, it's not about just trying to smash and hit winners every time, so that's a big part of it. Gina Facca, again, she was co-partnering with Evan Holinsky, who is a Canadian pro tour player and the head pro instructor at Pickleplex.
Well, it was a great celebrity game, and of course you and I will have to get onto the courts maybe this weekend.
By all means.
Okay, on behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
Travis and Gary will be back with your only late local newscast tonight at 11.
See you then.